it's a chance for me to give back to another community that's in need. Living in an area that has wildfire risk myself, I always appreciate the fact that there's people out there to help me. So when I can, I like to go and help others.
Cross volunteer here in Colorado is headed to Florida as we speak to help people recover after Helene hit as a hurricane. This video in Tampa gives you an idea of what they're walking into. The city provided that video showing the extent of the flooding there. Then there is Treasure Island, Florida, west of Tampa on the Gulf Coast. Flooding, a common theme after this storm. At least one person in Florida has died. When she gets there, Deb will focus mostly on feeding those in need, and that is something that she's done before.
It's a long day, but it's a rewarding and kind of an exciting long day. And it's also kind of an adventure. You don't really know what you're walking into or where you're going to go or who you're going to meet, but it's always very rewarding.
Is a tropical storm now and leaving its mark on more than just Florida. What you're looking at right now, this is Atlanta in Georgia. There is so much water in the streets that people are resorting to canoes and kayaks to get around. The state also reported at least 11 deaths because of Helene. Asheville, North Carolina also feeling its impacts with the strong winds and rains that the storm brought as it made its trek across land. Further north, the town of Boone, North Carolina, streets are underwater there as well. People are still driving through them despite the warning from authorities. Now, Deb is not the only Coloradan heading into the disaster zone. 45 members of Colorado Task Force 1 left for Chattanooga, Tennessee a couple of days ago. It is the agency's staging point to help the states deal with Helene's aftermath. Members of the task force will be on standby to help with search and rescue missions and other tasks. Now, compared to everything you just saw, we have it really easy right now. You're taking a live look at Denver and Greeley. We're getting a little break from yesterday's record-breaking heat, a little bit. We could set some more records this weekend as well. Not totally out of the woods there. Kathy's with a look at your weekend forecast. My goodness, it has been.
Oh my goodness, it has been so warm, Anusha. It feels more like mid-August instead of almost October. And we could use a little rain, but they really want to turn the faucet off in the Tennessee River Valley and through the Carolinas. The remnants of Hurricane Helene still creating issues across about 12 states. This thing is about 1,400 miles across. Heavy flooding rainfall, isolated tornadoes, landslides, trees coming down. And now they're saying at least 20 people have died as a result of Helene making landfall last night in Perry, Florida as a Cat 4 storm with winds to 140 miles per hour. As you mentioned, Anusha, back here in Colorado, it is just a beautiful Friday. We are blessed indeed to have sunshine, blue skies, and hopefully no record high temperatures today. Yesterday, 93 degrees. Today, mid-70s, all compliments of that dry front coming through early in the morning. Winds are light out of the north and northeast, and that will be the trend throughout the afternoon. We have a little bit of a cool down today, a warmer weekend, and everybody's asking when's our next chance for showers. Well, not in the short term, so all eyes on the remnants of Helene moving through Memphis, St. Louis, north of Atlanta, and the Carolina coastline. Back here, that weak front brought in just enough moisture for a stray shower around Aspen, Alamosa, and maybe Pueblo, but Denver, Greeley, Fort Collins missing out on the moisture, just enjoying a beautiful Friday along with cooler weather. Temperature trend over the next few hours, comfortable in the low 80s by lunchtime. Coming up in Maine weather, we'll have that weekend forecast in detail in just a bit.
Thanks so much, Kathy. New at noon, the teenager accused of shooting 5 people outside a Lodo bar last year has now pleaded guilty to a single count of attempted first-degree murder. Kiana Rosenberg was 17 when this happened last September. The shooting happened outside the Dirk Bentley's Whiskey Row at 20th and Market. Police say security video captured Rosenberg firing indiscriminately into a crowd of people after she was denied entry into that bar. It took about a month for police to find her. She was arrested in California. Rosenberg faces more than 20 criminal counts, but with that deal, though, the majority of them were dismissed. This morning, we talked to one of the 8 survivors who says her potential upcoming sentence may not be enough.
I think 5 to 7 years is not enough for somebody who opened fire into a crowd of people. She affected a lot of people that night. I think lack of accountability doesn't just fall on her anymore. I think it falls on our court system as well.
Rosenberg is scheduled to be sentenced in January, and when she is sentenced, she will be serving time in a facility for juveniles. Right now, police in Colorado Springs are looking for a missing baby. Her mom has a warrant, and they think that she took the child to Denver. Police are looking for 18-year-old Katera Poma and her 11-month-old daughter, Zelaya Poma Davis. The arrest warrant for the mom was issued after she violated a protection order between herself and the child's father. Poma and her daughter were last seen leaving a Texas Roadhouse parking lot on September 13th. Police say she's known to travel between the Denver metro area and the Springs. If you see any of them, call Colorado Springs Police. In just about an hour, a Gunnison police officer is set to make his first appearance in court on charges of incest. Agents with the Colorado Bureau of Investigation arrested Daniel Huff on Wednesday night. This came after a 3-week investigation into a claim that the 41-year-old sexually assaulted a woman. Huff was placed on administrative leave that is per policy for the police department. He is currently being held without bond at the Gunnison County Detention Center. His hearing is set to start at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Also today, the New Jersey man accused of conning a 79-year-old woman from Highlands Ranch out of $120,000 is set to be arraigned. Officials say Sagar Patel pretended to be a federal agent, then told a woman that her bank accounts were compromised. To fix it, that she needed to buy 2 gold bars and then bring them to him at a 7-Eleven in Littleton. Patel was extradited to Colorado and charged with theft and crimes against an at-risk person. His arraignment is set to start at 1:30 this afternoon. Right now, Boulder police are investigating a deadly crash between a car and a pedestrian. It happened early this morning on Broadway and Ash Avenue. The road has since reopened, but police have not said much else. We will update you on the networks of 9 News as we learn more. Boulder police also have a new tool to keep the community informed about traffic crashes like the one that just happened this morning. The department has created a new dashboard. Police say the community was telling them that while they appreciate the information when a crash first happens, people also want to follow the cases through to their end. The department believes the new dashboard will give the public the information they want without compromising an active investigation or a DA's case. The chief hopes the extra information will also help people be more aware of their surroundings, whether they're walking, riding, or driving. Colorado's highways are some of the more dangerous places to drive in the U.S., and a recent report seems to be backing that up. It was looking at which states have the biggest problems with road rage, and unfortunately, Colorado ranked 4th. As 9 News reporter Brianna Fernandez shows us, one particular city is contributing to this.
The city of Denver is actually a key contributing factor to that high ranking, and I actually sat down with the Denver Police Department and they tell me that they have seen a lot of recent cases. So here's a quick breakdown. This year there have been 321 incidents from January 1st to September 1st, a bit lower compared to last year. During that same time frame in 2023, Denver police had 351 road rage incidents. In 2022, 210. According to Denver police, some of those incidents resulted in a shooting, homicide, felony menacing, assaults, and deadly crashes. Officials say where they usually see these type of road rage problems is on I-25 northbound around the Alameda exit, as well as Alameda from Santa Fe all the way to that eastern border.
One of the things we're doing is targeted operations addressing aggressive driving by stopping people, not only ticketing, but also educating on what this results in and trying to help them understand why aggressive driving is so dangerous.
Now, if you're ever out on the road and you see an aggressive driver, Denver police says do not engage. Instead, get off the next exit, cool down, and definitely call 911. For now, I'm here in Denver. Brianna Fernandez for 9 News.
On the airline side of things, the NTSB has now issued an urgent safety warning for some of Boeing's 737s. It says critical flight controls could jam on some of the 737 NG and 737 MAX airplanes. That warning comes after the NTSB investigated an incident from February. Pilots on a United Airlines MAX 8 reported that their rudder pedals were sticking in the neutral position while they were landing. The FAA says United is the only U.S. airline with 737s that use that component in question and that they are no longer in use. Today, we're learning more about one of the most talked about changes in travel. Southwest Airlines getting rid of its open seating policy. The airline is saying that the reserved seating will not be out for another year, though. The airline says passengers will be able to book a reserved seat in late 2025. This is going to be for flights in early 26. Also said it would offer premium seating for the first time. Southwest will restructure its planes with the new seats in the next year. The airline hopes that this change will help the company's profits. They've been lagging in recent years.